All right, who that nation? What up, man? Your boy, no cap, no filter, Saints. I'm your host, Marley G. Got another special guest in the building, man. Y'all been seeing him. Y'all been seeing all his work. The dude been grinding hard. Have the film studies, getting a deep dive in, can put the play together and just relate to everybody. Everybody could really understand it the way he break the film down, man. We got the book Tragedies on the show, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, glad to be here. Glad to be here, man. Hey, let's get this party started.
Yeah, man. I've been looking at your channel for a while now, man. I ain't never seen you on nobody show collaborating or anything like that. This your first collaboration, man?
I believe so. A couple people hit me up, but I mean, I guess they just not hit me up. I'm always down to do it. Like I said, a couple people hit me up in the past, but nobody just followed through with it. So hey, if somebody else want to do it, I'm here. Just DM me, message me, just like you did. I'm easy. Hey, it was quick.
Yeah, man. Like I'm all about the collaboration this season, man. I'm trying to, expand a pod, and I like
Mm-hmm.
to talk with other people. I see a lot of pods, they could talk with themselves being right there. I like to talk with a lot of other people. That's what I like. But let's go ahead on and get you on, familiar with the show. It's your first time on the show, so let me go ahead on and get started by asking where you're from and like when you first became a Saints fan and made you fall in love with this team, man.
All right. Well, I was born in New Orleans. So I was born in New Orleans. I moved after Hurricane Katrina. I'm not gonna spoil it too much because I do gotta eventually on my channel. I'm gonna do an introduction because nobody know who I am right now, which I think is great. Nobody knows who I am. So I'll give you a little bit. I was born in New Orleans. I moved after Katrina. So I grew up in it, man. So I grew up being a Saints fan when nobody liked them. Back when I was born, I was the only one. I was the only one on the neighborhood, on the block, cheering for the Saints. Everybody like, hey man, stop wasting your time. They're gonna let you down. They're gonna let you down. They're gonna let you down. But I've been a Saints fan, man. So since I was born, it's been in me.
Yeah, man, I remember them days, man. You ain't see no starter jackets that was Saints. All
Never.
you seen is 49ers. You'll see a Cowboys one, a Steelers one, but you don't see no Saints starter jackets out there, bro. Yeah, man. I was a fan since the Aaron Brooks era, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Brooks, Dante Stallworth, Jerome Payton, Charles Grant, all them guys, Derek Howard, all them type of guys.
Oh
So
yeah.
ever since then, man, I just fell in love with the team, bro. And and now Dennis Allen, this dude that made me turn road because I just I'm one of them fans that if he do good and prove me wrong, fine. But if
Mm-hmm.
he fail, then I'm good with that too because I see that as a W me. Because if he get fired, to me that's a W. So I'm one of them fans that I'm living like that. Ever since that Josh Dobbs games from last year with the Vikings, Josh Dobbs took my soul like Shane Song, bro. Ever since that, I was like, man, you know what? I don't care if we lose the rest of these games. I gotta see this dude go because the way them fans was happy with Arthur Smith being fired and Deuce Staley being fired, Josh McDaniel. I said, man, maybe we can have that same fortune. But everybody's gonna get at least 3 seasons. So this is third season to prove me wrong. And I always say the best thing that could happen. Dennis Allen, Derek Carr, they prove me wrong. Go to the Super Bowl and we win. And it's a lot of fans that think I'll be upset if that was to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing that could be happen that could be the best is he get fired. And a third worst thing that could happen, we have a mediocre season, 7-8 wins, and they just bring them back and run it back and get an extension.
Yeah, man, this how I look at it. Like, I mean, obviously, Saints fans, everybody want them to do good. We all Saints fans, we all want the Saints to do well. So it's not like nobody's coming to the season like, man, I hope he don't win no games. I hope he don't, we go 1-16 or something like that. We all want to go to the playoffs. It's been a minute. The division's been weak the last couple of years. We haven't been able to capitalize on that. And so, like, the good thing I do like about it, you kind of said it. I think Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, I think they're a package deal. When one goes, the other goes. So I think if they just fall flat on their face this year, Derek Carr plays bad, Dennis Allen obviously coaches bad, then I think they're both gone. I think if it's mediocre, that's where it gets scary. If it's mediocre, if they go 9-8, sneak in the playoffs, they go 10-7, sneak in the playoffs, something like that, and it's like, oh, we got hope. Look, I'm not with that. It's they have to win a division. That's the only way in my mind he comes back if they win a division. They don't win a division, you just can't bring them back, in my opinion. It's 3 seasons. The first year, I give you a pass. Sean Payton kind of left in a weird situation, not really your team. Then the next year you brought in your quarterback, your guy, and you still had Pete Carmichael, so it still really wasn't your team. But you brought in some guys. You brought in Tyrann Mathieu. He's had some good free agency additions. That's the one thing Can't give him credit for. In free agency, we've got a couple like Tyrann Mathieu. I don't think he's coming if Sean Payton's there. Chase Young, I don't think he's coming. You know, Sean Payton loves the guys in house for some reason. He loves the guys in house, so I do give him credit there. But if you're not producing with these players, then I mean, then what's the point? So I hopefully they don't have a mediocre season, and then they bring both of these guys back for a fourth season. It's just not like we can't do that. That's just you already. I think they already set us back with the Derek Carr signing anyway. Think we could have just when Drew Brees left and Sean Payton left, that was time to rebuild. You know what? You could have just blew it all up, suck for one season, get you a quarterback or something, a young guy in there, and start all over. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. But like you were saying, I don't want them to fail. Hey, they win 11, 12 games. I don't see it. But if they do, hey, have a blast, let's party. But I just don't see that being the case this year.
Is Dennis Allen good at recruiting? Or are we just getting guys that we want, you know, at the right timing because the market is not in their favor? Like hey, we got Tyrann, we got Jarvis. Yeah, we got Chase because nobody else wanted to take that risk on him. Is he good at getting guys?
Hey man, look, all I can say is we got him. That's all I know. Hey, we got him. That's the best thing you can get him. I don't care how you got him here. I don't care if you lied to him, whatever you did. I mean, hey, you got him here. Nobody want them. They turned out to be good players. Like getting Tyrann and Chase Young. Chase Young looked like he's about to be a stud this year. So I still have to give him credit. As much as I trust me, I don't want to. As much as I don't want to give him credit, I gotta give him credit on that part. Now on the coaching front, you ain't getting no credit there because we haven't seen anything from him there. But on the getting players in free agency part, have to give him credit there. I want to give him credit for his OC hiring, but it's way too early for that. We still got to see how that plays out. But I do like the hiring as of now.
Yeah, Jared, we got the boot tragedies up in the building. Got some people in the chat saying, man, you got the boot tragedies on here,
hey,
man.
You know, hey, man, tell them you want to come up, you know?
Yeah, but the boot, let me ask you this, man. Like, you said that he's good at recruiting, but he didn't slip them panties off of Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons ate. He got drunk, probably got smoked out. He went right to Atlanta and gave it up to somebody else. How did you feel about us, you know, swinging and missing that Justin Simmons? Did you feel like it was just a luxury pick? It didn't really matter. Or did you feel like, man, he could have really been a game changer and brought some turnover ability to this defense which in turn helped the offense out?
I mean, in my honest opinion, I do think we missed. I think that was a complete whiff, especially with him going to the Falcons. But there's two things on that. I actually watched a lot of Justin Simmons games because I was trying to get ahead of the curve. I already made some video. I was ready. So as soon as they signed him, I was ready to come out with the videos. He actually, believe it or not, wasn't as good as I thought he was going to be on film. He was still good. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think he's better than Howden. Still think he's better than Abram. But he wasn't that all-pro guy I was looking for. Like I think that 22 and 21 season, he was really, really good. But last year, he was kind of iffy. Like I said, still better than the guys we have at his position. So I wouldn't say it was the luxury picks. I still think he's an upgrade. And at the end of the day, I always feel like you should be able to upgrade. If you can get somebody better than Alvin Kamara, you should. If you get somebody better than Derek Carr, you should. Any position, any player, if you think you get somebody better and it works with the money, you always should. So I do think he was better than the players we have in-house. But I also said at some point you have to make a decision for the Saints. I said this in the past plenty of times. At some point you have to make a decision. Is you like halfway all in, or you want to, develop the young guys. So I'll give you an example. Like Trevor Penning obviously doesn't seem ready, but eventually you have to let him play. It's been 3 seasons. Like he was a first-round pick. You got to let him play. I think for Howden, he's in that position. Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry. Like you can keep bringing these older guys in and keep winning 7 games, 8 games. But what is that really going to do for you? And about time these young guys, it's time for them to play. They're 26, 27, don't have any snaps in the NFL. So eventually they had to choose. So like if you're going to choose to play the young guys, I'm with it. Play all the young guys this year. Play Seldaveri, play Trevor Penning, play Howden, play all the young guys, A.T. Perry, like I said. Play them all. Kendrick Miller, if he gets healthy. Play all the young guys. Let's see what they got. Because eventually, like, those guys have to play. And if they never play, you just drafted guys for no reason. So, like I said, the Simmons pick, I do think we kind of missed on that, especially, like I said, him going to the Falcons, him being with Bates and Simmons. That's going to be pretty good. So, he doesn't have to be that all-pro guy for them. They've made moves. They got Judon. So, like, they have a pretty good defense over there. Even if we just got him to keep him away from Atlanta, that would have been a plus. And he was starting for us. Like, he's still really, really good. I don't think he's all pro, but I think he's still a solid player, and he could have been an upgrade for us. So I definitely think that was a whiff because his name wasn't even being mentioned at first. Like, it was dead in the water for Simmons. Took a visit to us, bam. Within a couple of days, he's in Atlanta. Then he signs to Atlanta. So I do think that was a big whiff from Dennis Allen and the Saints right there.
How much better you think that makes Atlanta?
It depends on how they play them. I've already seen their coach come out and say they're trying to play three safeties and things like that. So I think they're gonna be good. I think they're gonna be good for them. Bates is a star in that secondary. So I think even without Simmons, he was gonna be really really good. I think it helps him a little bit though. I think it helps him. Like you bring an All Pro guy in, no matter what. Even when Tyron came, like the same thing. I think he's kind of in a Tyron situation. When Tyron came from Kansas City, he wasn't Tyron Matthew when the honey. He wasn't that guy, but he's still solid. That's basically I think Simmons is, and I think Tyron did kind of turn around. He took it up a level this past season compared to his first one. But I think Simmons kind of in that same boat, trying to redefine himself because once you hit that 30-year-old mark in the NFL, it starts to get you lose a step here. Now you got to start playing with your mentals and things like that. So I still think he's going to be good. I think he's going to help the Falcons, but not. I don't think it's going to be super super crazy. It's not like they went go sign the best safety in the league. At the end of the day, this guy was a free agent in August for a reason, and that's no shot to Justin Simmons. But like usually, the good free agents they're not making it to August 15th or whenever he got signed like that. It's a reason he was out that long because I think he had a fall off year, but only 1 year fall off. Now, don't get me wrong, the 2 years before that, fantastic. So if he goes back to that Justin Simmons, we in trouble. But if he's the one from last year, I'm not too worried about it.
Does that make that Atlanta Falcons the favorite in your opinion?
I think they're the favorite already. I think without him, they was already the favorite. To be honest, when you're looking at the Saints, what the Saints got, the Bucks are still going to be there. The Panthers, we're not even worried about. They just, they still trying to find themselves over there. But I think they're the favorite anyway. If you look at all the betting sites and things, they're the favorite to win the division. I mean, they have weapons over there. They got a really really good defense. They probably got a quarterback that can get Kyle Pitts the ball for the first time in his career. Got a really really good running back. See, it's good to suck sometimes. They got a bunch of top 10 picks in there. They drafted well, something we haven't done in the first round. And so I think they have the best weapon, but it's still the Falcons now. I'm not here to hype the Falcons up at all. That's one thing I won't do. They still the Falcons, so they can shit the bed and win 5-6 games. But I do think on paper they're the favorite, just from the quarterback, running back, O-line, D-line. They have a lot of weapons over there. They've done a real good job this offseason.
Okay, so when it comes to Clint Kubiak, a lot of guys are just, anointing this guy as just some elite offensive coordinator, and he just gonna just be, just that whiz kid for us. And I think anybody would have looked like a whiz kid compared to Pete Carmichael. The amount of motions we ran, you seen it on a film. You didn't broke it down for all us. The amount of motions we ran, the lack of play actions we ran, the lack of creativity that we've had. Surprisability that we had. It just wasn't there with Pete Carmichael. But with Clint Kubiak, I see a reason for people to be optimistic. But how far you think this team could go when we have the offensive line that we have? Because a lot of people just extrapolating what they see from the 49ers. They think they're just going to transfer to the Saints. Even with Clint Kubiak being the passing game coordinator over there, not from I don't really think he had too much hands-on for what he was doing with Christian McCaffrey's success. But everybody just think Alvin Kamara is going to have a Christian McCaffrey type of year just because he's coming from the 49ers with a Christian McCaffrey. But if you look at the Vikings, they had some good stats when he was the offensive coordinator. I think Kirk, he had a decent year. They had Jettas. I think Jettas had a good year. He was over 1,000. Cook was over 1,000, but they still went 8-9 with a defensive-minded head coach that wasn't all that good, Mr. Blair. So, how much better you think Clint Kubiak can realistically have this team as far as the win column?
Realistically, I mean, unfortunately for him, I think he might have the worst offense out the bunch in the last 3 years. I think Pete Carmichael the past 2 years probably had a better roster than him, but especially on the offensive line, especially with Michael Thomas and things like that. So he does have the worst offense out the last 3 years, but a good OC. Already, I'm giving him credit because, Trevor Penny had a terrible first game. This is one thing I did know. The second game, he come out, Trevor Penny's getting tight end help. He's getting running back help. That's signs of a good OC. I watched Pete Carmichael. If somebody's getting beat every play, guess what? We're not helping them. We just letting them just die on the island out there. So I do know that just small things like that, man. If you see somebody struggling, send them some help. It's okay. Everybody need help every now and then. So I do like that already. The motions and things, I do like that they gave Taysom Hill a position. As much as I like Taysom doing this and doing that, Taysom Hill needs to be on the field. So I think that new fullback role, that youth tech role is going to be really, really good for Taysom Hill. So I do like that already. And Everybody keeps saying, hey, the offense is vanilla, the offense vanilla. We're going to show it. I'm not believing that. I even tweeted, I don't believe that the offense is vanilla and we're just going to turn it on when the season starts. I don't believe that whatsoever. That's just not how this works. I'm watching teams around the league with the vanilla offense as they say we're doing, and they're still putting up points. Like I'm watching the Broncos because I still watch them. Bo Nix is having a blast out there with their vanilla offense. So if you're getting vanilla offense versus vanilla defense, somebody has to rise to the occasion. So I'm in the middle on Kubiak right now. I'm not anointing him as the chosen one. I don't think he's bad. Obviously, he's an upgrade in our opinion. I don't think Pete wanted to be there without Sean Payton. You can kind of tell he didn't. So it's a wait and see game for me. I do think he's an upgrade. I hope they can bring some of the tendencies from the 49ers to the Saints. Like I know we're not going to have the 49ers offensive line. We don't have CMC, Debo Samuel, IU, Kittle. We don't have none of that. As you can see, the 49ers this past, like against us, without Ayuk out there, without Debo, without Kittle, it didn't look great. So the system is one thing, but you still need the players. You still need the offensive line. Now, offensive line, obviously, it might be the worst in the NFL. And I hate to say it, but it literally might be the worst in the NFL. Obviously, hey, that means they got potential to grow. But a good OC will put those guys in position, to be successful. So I still think we have the pieces. We have the weapons, I should say. We have the weapons on offense, I think, even though it's not as many as I would like. We still have some weapons on offense where we can get the job done. He just got to be creative. If you watch the last game, offense struggling those first two drives. We come out on the 5-yard line. And in most plays, in most instances, Pete Carmichael, he's going to just run a running back dive up the middle. We come out, throw the ball on first down, get a first down, you move the chains, get some space. I just like that as offensive coordinator. Most offensive coordinators are running the ball right there. Throw the ball with your back against the goal line right there. And that's just good play calling right there. So to see his play calling, I didn't, I've never get to, see him call a whole game. So I want to see him in different situations. Like we're going for it on a lot of fourth downs. Would that, carry on into the regular season? Like we've been going for it on fourth down in the preseason, like it's just nothing because it is just nothing. So I want to see, when it gets tight. The main thing I like about coaches, this lets me know if you're a good offensive coordinator. Your first 2-point conversion. How creative can you get on your 2-point conversion? That lets me know a lot about you because a really, really good OC, head coach, whoever offensive guy is going to have really, really good 2-point conversion plays, really good 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 plays to score touchdowns. You look at Sean Payton, you look at Andy Reid. The Chiefs get crazy when they get in the red zone. They always are super creative in those short yardage situations where it's not that much space. That's when you can get real creative because at the end of the day, it's not just best on best. You have to get creative because there's no space down there. So it's still a wait and see game. Like I said, it sucks that he does have the worst offensive line. He lost. Don't have Ramczyk. Like he's got the worst group out the bunch. So I'm definitely not giving him a pass for this year because you might not even come back this year if everybody depends salad, so they might clean out. So he's got 1 year to show up. He has a chance because, like I said, you got Rashid Shaheed, you got Olave, you got Kamara. Unfortunately, this is the NFL, and you have to make it work. That's good players. You got to make it. We got a $150 million quarterback. At the end of the day, you got to make it work. So it's just a wait and see game for me.
Yeah, man. And you mentioned how they didn't have all them players. Just imagine how they would have. But and that's another thing. People got to understand the quarterback and head coach dynamic. Like Kyle Shanahan, he makes a whole lot of a difference. Brock Purdy, the poise of Brock Purdy, man. I just think he got more poised than a Derek Carr, and I just think he's a better teammate than a Derek Carr. But that's another story. We got like 10 people up in here watching. If you got any questions for the boot, man, just go ahead on and put it down in the comment section. We'll get to it as soon as possible. Trying to be interactive on the show. So if anybody got any questions for the boot about the Saints, go ahead on and put your question down in the comment section. We'll get to it as soon as possible, man. Another thing, man, let's go ahead on and get to this quarterback situation, man. We got Derek Carr, gave him that extension. So we pretty much, we tied to him for like a whole another season after this for sure, because I think it'll be like 50. Well, even with him not on the roster next year, it'll still be like $50 million dead cap or something like that. So we kind of pretty much tied to him. But when it comes to Jake Haener and Spence Rattler, do you see any of these guys truly being maybe the future of this franchise, or you just haven't seen enough to really just give an opinion on that? A lot of people are really strong when it comes to Jake. I've seen him have a hive, and a lot of people double what Jake has with Spence Rattler hive. So a lot of people feeling like these guys have the upsides and the keys to just, command the reins of this offense, because we projected to get like a Quinn Ewers I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to say his name. He's in
Yeah,
college.
I didn't tell him about yeah.
Quinn guy. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
he's that much above these two guys that we already have with Jake and a Snake?
Absolutely. First of all, so I'll break it down like this. Look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL. We can just go through them real quick. You got Pat Mahomes, right? First round pick. Josh Allen, first round pick. Lamar Jackson, first round pick. Joe Burrow, first round pick. Justin Herbert, first round pick. It's hard to find guys in that third, fourth, fifth round that's going to be your franchise guy. The only one I can think of off the top of my head right now is Dak. I believe he was a fourth rounder. But other than that, all the top guys are going to be top 10 picks, top 5 picks. That's just kind of how the quarterback position works. They're going to get the most help, most leeway, and they're the most talented people. So the Saints, the last, man, 4 or 5 years, obviously they had Drew Brees, so it's a little different. But, I mean, we from Ian Book, I think like a mid-round pick, Hayner, mid-round pick, Rattler, mid-round pick. We had Garrett Grayson back then, mid-round pick. You're never really going to find a future with that mid-round pick. Eventually, you're going to just have to draft one in the first round. That's where you find the franchise guys that. It's very, very hard to find one mid-round, late round. So do I think one of these guys can do it? I don't know. It's early. Rattler's a little different situation than Hayner because Rattler was a first round talent. He's a little different. He's in a different boat. He could have been a first round pick. College didn't go the way, it planned out. A highly touted recruit coming out of high school. Didn't really live up to it in college, but didn't play bad. So he's a little different. He has that arm talent. He's going to be a little different. But Jake Hayner, not in my eyes. I think he could be a solid NFL quarterback for 6 to 8 years, a backup, kind of Chase Daniel-ish. Like, I'm just a backup. If you need me to come in there for 2 games, I can do it. But to be a starter in this league for 4 or 5 years, I don't think we have one quarterback on the roster that can do that. That's including Derek Carr. So I still think we're looking for the quarterback of the future. That guy's not on the roster right now. I think Rattler has the biggest chance just because he has the biggest upside. Now, if you ask me if they have to play today, I think it's Carr, Hayner, and Rattler's last on that list. But if you ask me in 2 years, I think that list is totally just flipped. I think it's Rattler, Hayner, and then Derek Carr. But I just don't know if Rattler is going to be that guy to lead the franchise in the future. But he does have all the talent.
What's Rattler's ceiling and floor, and what's Jake's ceiling and floor? You say something about Jake was Chase Daniels. That's his ceiling or his floor?
I might give him. Let's see. I think that's closer to his floor. That's closer to his floor. I think he has a lot of tools. I think he can spread the ball around and be good. His ceiling, let's see. Let me give a good comparison for his ceiling.
I think he's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I think he'd come in and get a little crazy, do a little mental mania sometimes. I'm not saying they play alike, but just to come in, win you some games and things like that. So I think that'll be a ceiling. Which, I mean, that's good careers. They both are.
I think his floor is probably Trevor Siemian.
I can see that. I can see that for sure.
I always said Spence, his ceiling could be a Russell Wilson, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he got a lot of arm than Russell, but yeah, I can see. Let's see who I think Spencer Rattler could be. I think his variety is super. It could be super bad or super good. I think his ceiling right now. I think his floor. I'll go with his floor. I think his floor is lower than Hayner. So his floor could be, what he is right now. Just be, he could never get better, be a gunslinger, turning the ball over, not really, getting better. But I think his ceiling is really, really high. I would say his ceiling, and it's kind of funny, is Josh Dobbs when he played the Saints. That's his ceiling. Josh Dobbs when he played the Saints, that's Spencer Rattler's ceiling right there for me. Like, whenever Josh Dobbs played the Saints, I can see Spencer Rattler be that good. He can make plays with his legs, can throw the ball. But honestly, I even think like a resurgence like Geno, just a little bit better than what Geno did this past season where he really played well. Just a little bit better than that, which I think that's a good 4, 5, 6 year starter in the NFL. So, that's not a bad thing. Boy, do I think we have like a Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes, Allen on our hands? Not at all. Obviously they compare him to Mahomes, just the way he looked, the way he talked, but that guy's not walking through anybody building for the next 100 years, so we won't ever get that.
Yeah, man, I agree. We got our first question. Let's go ahead on and get to it. We got Derek L. He said, what's y'all opinion on Kendre Miller? I know he's injured, but this can't be good for his future.
You want to start that?
I'm going to let you go ahead and answer the questions.
Well, Kendre Miller, obviously he has the talent. I watched him when he came out of TCU. I watched, 4 or 5 games of his. He's got explosive guy. He's a good one cut back, can get up and down the field. But like I said, hey, you can't make the club in a tub. So if you're always hurt, it's just going to be unfortunate, especially at that running back position. Running back position, they already don't want to pay you. They already don't want to play you as much because it's an injury-prone position. You haven't even played yet, and you keep getting injured. So it's just unfortunate because I do think he's our second best back on the team, and we really, really need him for this offense to be successful. Because obviously, we've seen over the Alvin Kamara career, he's not going to be a 25 carry back. They're not going to give him 30 times a game. So we have to have that running back too. And Jamal Williams, he's just not it. He doesn't have that explosion. He's getting a little older. He's just a short yardage back. So we need that second guy with some pop. And Kendrick Miller, I think, could be it. But if you're hurt every 4 weeks, play a week, hurt 3 weeks, play a week, you're never going to get that opportunity. It's almost like it's just our bad luck with the Peyton Turner, Marcus Davenport, guys that you can see some talent every now and then, but then they get hurt and it sets them back, and then they never really could catch back up. So I think Kendrick Miller is really, really good. But like even Dennis Allen said, like you gotta stay healthy. You gotta stay healthy because he's missing so many important reps right now. He will be getting a lot of reps in this preseason, a lot of reps, training camp, mini camp, and things like that, and just practice. But he's missing all that because he's hurt. And it's unfortunate. Like you got a guy like Lattimore's hurt. That's an all-pro guy. That's almost a Hall of Fame guy. He can miss this and come out week 1, and we know we have. We're not just going to throw Kendrick Miller in the fire when he's been out all this time. So hopefully he gets healthy, man, because I really think he's our second best back, and we need him. If not, we're going to have to search for a running back before week 1 starts because the guys we have in-house, that's just not it right now.
Yeah, man, I pretty much agree with everything the boot just said with Kendrick Miller. The talent is there. I see the burst. I think he's like another version of a Mark Ingram, but you can't make the club in a tub. And I just think he's in Dennis Allen doghouse. Like I just think Dennis Allen probably think he's one of those guys who probably don't study their plays and stuff and things of that nature. And I just think he's in Dennis Allen doghouse. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, if you got any questions for the boot, man, put it down in the comment section. We're going to get to it as soon as possible. We got Zach Burfitt says, drafted in fantasies, do you guys lean towards Saints players? Does that bias come through? Trying to decide whether to draft Olave or on the half turn.
Me, personally, when I'm drafting receivers in fantasy, this is my little trick here. I always look at the quarterback. So when you draft Olave, just know you're drafting Derek Carr too. Just keep that in mind. That's I always look at. Unless it's special guys like Justin Jefferson, I don't care if I was out there throwing the ball. I'm going to just draft him. But Olave, 1-2 turn, that's very, very high, man. You still got a lot of good receivers out there at that point. I wouldn't do that. I know it's biased. I do the same thing sometimes. The only person I'm drafting like over where they're rated probably for the Saints right now is the defense. Like obviously later in the draft, but I always think the defense is going to be good. But Olave that early, I wouldn't do it, my boy.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it either because you look at Rashid Shaheed. If Rashid Shaheed go down with an injury, man, they're gonna just send all the coverage at Olave. So it's just like, man, we running low when it come to depth, man. When it come to depth, we running low, bro. Especially at them skill positions, bro. Tight end, running back, wide receiver. You already got a mess of an O-line. So it's just like, man, Derek Carr, he holds on to the ball too long. So you got to think about all that, man. Go with your head and not your heart. Hoodie Jube, man. That's my guy right there, Hoodie Jube. He's one of the people who has us with 12 wins.
Hoodie,
this video been going around saying, oh, yeah, man, Saints fans think they're going to the Super Bowl.
I saw that.
And it just went viral. Everybody's commenting on it. And I'm like, man, I know people who got us with 12 wins. It's Hoodie and a few other people. But Hoodie is a very optimistic Saints fan.
I see that.
He's going to always look at that side of the coin. Good dude, though, good show. Let's see. He has a question. It says, the boot. Who you looking forward to making a big impact this year for us? I would say a second-year player or a rookie this year. Who you got?
For me, who needs to make a big impact, I can tell you that. That's the easy answer. If the Saints want any success this year, the person that has to make the biggest impact is Trevor Penning. If Trevor Penning doesn't play well this year, it's over with. I'll tell you, if you have a starting tackle in this league, replacing Ryan Ramczyk, like, if he doesn't play well, it's over. Like, you have to have a good tackles in this league. I think Fuaga on that left side is going to be pretty good. He's a rookie, so he's going to go through his ups and downs. But those two guys in particular, especially Trevor Penning, if he plays well, they'll find some success. If he plays like he played in that first game, the Saints won't win over 5 games this year. Now, who I think is going to have a breakout year? Obviously, we all saw that game yesterday. Anthony Orji, I think he's going to make the 53-man roster. He looks really, really good. I do like DeMarco Jackson as a backup. I think the linebacker core, just in general, I think we have about 5 linebackers that can probably start on a lot of teams in the NFL. But first, second-year player, I'm trying to think. Who I think was Alontae's his third year. I think he might have a breakout season this year, man. He's been looking really, really good in the preseason. I think the third-year guys are kind of more ahead of the curve. Second year guy, man, I don't know. I do think A.T. Perry has a chance. He had a rough game last game, but I do think he has a chance to be really, really good. Because I mean, he's wide receiver 3 in my book. I don't care how bad he played or what they say about him. I think he's the wide receiver 3 to come into the season. Like I said earlier, you got to let these young guys play, man. Eventually, just let them sink or swim. He's gonna either play good, he's gonna play bad, but then you have your evaluation on him. But back to Penny, that's my real answer. Like if the Saints want any success, it has to be Trevor Penny. It's like nowhere around that.
All right, I guess you got your answer. You got your question answer right there, T. So I'm gonna go ahead to the next person. We got Trey Molo says the boot. Dumb question. We know Olave a good route runner, but do you feel Shaheed is more explosive? I saw Olave drop passes last year.
Well, for sure. I think Rashid Shaheed is easily more explosive than Olave. That doesn't mean you're a better receiver. I mean, you can look at Deshaun Hopkins, not Deshaun Hopkins, Deshaun Jackson, one of the most explosive receivers ever. But, he's not better than Justin Jefferson just because he's more explosive. So I think Rashid Shaheed's going to always be your deep threat, explosive, can catch the ball, probably catch a slant, take it to the crib. That's never going to be Olave. Olave is going to be a good – I think Olave is like when Jarvis Landry was really, really good, he's just like a faster version of that. Like just a 10 to 15-yard receiver, can get open, get space, but he's never going to be like – he's not slow, don't get me wrong. It's not like he's just slow out there. He still has good speed, but he's never going to be like a Rashid Shaheed. I'm just going to line up, run past you on a go route, post route, and just be super, super explosive. Yeah, he did have some drops last year. He's got to work on that. But, I mean, he's got a chance to be a top 10 receiver in this league. Like, that's really, really good. Like, I don't think he'll ever make that. I think it's like a tier 1, which is like reserved for the Chases and the Jeffersons. I don't think he'll ever be that good, but I still think he's a tier 2 guy. So, like, I mean, that's really, really good for a receiver. So I think that's his ceiling on that, which is a really, really good receiver. Rashid Shaheed's just super explosive, man. That stuff you can't coach right there. That's just something you're born with right there. So he's got that. He's gonna always have that over Olave.
Yeah, man. That was another hot take by Hoodie. He said that in this new offense, Shaheed, he's gonna have more production than Olave. He's gonna have like more yards, maybe more touchdowns or something like that. Something like that as far as stats go. But
that ain't happening.
We're gonna have to see, man. We're gonna have to see. Let's see here. We got OG Gaddy. I know it's early, but does the Saints make the playoff this year?
Man.
Hey,
look,
man, it's no cap, no filter, bro. You gotta see what you exactly feeling, man.
Look. I'll tell you. I'll give you 2 answers. One answer. This is always the truth answer. If I'm betting my money on it, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If I had to place all the money in my bank account on if the Saints making the playoffs, I'm betting no. I'm just going to tell you right now. Now, do I think we can make it? Of course, I can always make reasons on why I think we can make it, why we can win this game, win that game. But if I'm a betting man at the moment, what I see right now through 2 weeks of the preseason, absolutely not. The offense is not up to par. If you just told me, if I only saw defensive highlights this preseason, I think we can win the Super Bowl. Like the defense is a Super Bowl defense. Like this defense is really, really good. It literally has a chance to be one of the best that we've had. Like, so that's saying a lot too, because Dennis Allen defense, like it's up there of like, it could be really, really good. I think the pass rush is really, really good. I think the secondary is really, really good this year as well. But I think they're going to be on the field too long, so it's going to kind of hurt them because the offense going 3 and out. That's going to hurt the defense. But to answer your question and not ramble, absolutely not.
I say no. I say no. When it comes to the Saints, I always stuck to my guns. I got them at 8 and 9 wins. Even after what I've seen from Chase, even after Clint Kubiak, I got him at 8, 9 wins. I just think we the epitome of mediocre, and we just stuck in this purgatory until we up out of Dennis Allen's backseat of this car, and I mean that, I mean that, man, I'm getting Dennis Allen, I'm getting like Dennis Allen right here, but I mean, pun intended. Yeah. Let's see. Do you think the cap issues will ever catch up to us? All those voided years, ghost years. I feel bad for the guy whoever takes after Loomis retires.
No, they won't. Just because you look at the NFL right now, you're getting Black Friday games, Christmas games. You're getting so many games that cap's going to keep going up and up. So the Saints, they kind of plan for that. They plan for this cap to keep going up and up and up, which it will. Like they're basically NFL selling to the highest bidder. Amazon, you want a game. Peacock, you want a game. Hey, somebody on the street, you want a game. If you got the money, they willing to take your money. So the NFL is making so much money that cap's going to keep jumping and jumping and jumping. So I don't think the Saints will ever run into that problem. And like I said, the Saints haven't missed out on anyone in the last 3 or 4 seasons because of money. I'll tell you that right now. So you can say the cap issues or whatnot, but if they ever want somebody, they can go get them, because we had no cap when we signed Derek Carr, and he got a huge deal. So like if they really, really want someone, they can go get them. So I don't think that's going to really hurt us. I think where it is going to hurt, or where it does hurt, is you kind of have to keep some of these players around that gets kind of older and things like that. You don't really want to let them go because of the cap. I think it's hurting more because of the guys on the team. But I think that's a super easy fix. You could just let them all go in 1 year. It could be after this year, like a Cam Jordan retires. I think Mario Davis is still good, and I think he's obviously still helpful. But like guys like that, eventually you're going to have a reset. And that's when I think those void years, that's when you take the big hit. You take all the dead cap, get rid of all that in one season. You can't try to split it up where like, oh, I'll let Derek Carr go this year, Cam Jordan go that year, because then it's too much. So I don't think it'll ever catch up with him. When it does catch up with them, if it ever does, it's going to be a good thing for the Saints, because that probably means we're going to win 1 or 2 games and we'll have a high draft pick for the first time. But they can avoid all of that. This is all the science. That's all math equations. I don't worry about the cap situation at all.
We're going to come right back to your question, Ethan. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them down in the chat below. We're going to get to your question as soon as possible for the boot. So if any questions you guys want to ask the boot, put it down in the comment section below. Going to get to it as soon as possible. But before we get to Ethan's question, you just mentioned the cap. Mm-hmm. Do you think by us having Spencer Rattler on the current roster right now, let's just say for whatever reason he plays like 3 games this year, and he's doing well, and we don't even we just skip on a quarterback in the next draft, and we just kind of like get like either somebody in the trenches or maybe like a skill position, maybe like a good tight end or wide receiver. Do you think that he can help with the cap significantly, even though Derek Carr is still on the books? But by him being a quarterback, and then we just looking towards the future and just rolling with him. Do you think that he could just help the cap, and we could just get cap compliant, and on top of that, it'll give us a chance to sign guys like a Debo. It'll give us a chance to sign guys like a Rashid and a Chase Young instead of missing out on guys like that. Like how we missed out on Trey Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly. For sure. I do think that, because, if you look at the best teams in the NFL, the best time to win is when you have a young quarterback. So I know Derek Carr has like another year, but they can after this year, you can finesse it and make it work in your favor after this year. Obviously, he has to play this year. You couldn't. It's some crazy dead cap after this year. But next year, where you can play around with the numbers and you can make it, a little easier on you. And if you do that and you play a Rattler or a Hayner, whoever young quarterback on a small deal, that's when you can really make your mark. Because, look at the Bears, what they did this offseason. Went go get Keenan Allen, obviously paid DJ Moore a lot of money. You look at what Houston did, went go get Diggs, went go get Joe Mixon. So when you have a quarterback that's young on a rookie deal, that's the best time to win. Because obviously they're not making a lot of money. The quarterbacks make $200 million, $250 million this year. If you can get a guy that's making $750K, now you can spread that money out to the offensive line, defensive line, secondary receivers, and all that, and actually get veteran players that are established in this league. Maybe go get a high price free agent 1 year, because you can split all that quarterback money up into the rest of the team. So if that was to happen, I do think that's best case scenario. What I don't want them to do is, as soon as if Derek Carr fails this year and Dennis Allen fails, is to go draft a quarterback this year right out the gate. No. We got a lot to get to before you get to a quarterback. It's a lot of holes on this team, and it's just a lot before you just try to throw a quarterback and just copy and paste the same situation. It's a lot more to fill than just throw a random new quarterback on this team right now.
What about the people who say, well, they drafted Joe Burrow and they went to the Super Bowl like a year later and they had a bad offensive line and holes, but they got the elite quarterback?
If you can find me Joe Burrow, we can do it. But you ain't gonna find me Joe Burrow no time soon. So the thing about the Saints is we're never gonna be bad enough to get that quarterback. That's just right now the defense is too good. Like, we're gonna win 7, 8, 9 games. That's never gonna get you to Burrow, the Mahomes. Like, it's just never gonna get you. We're always gonna pick between 12 and 18. We could have had Lamar. We could have had Lamar, and we know why that went down. Lamar should have been a top 5 pick, but we all know why that didn't happen. You taking bums over him. That's just, it happens like that sometimes. But like, it's the luck. our luck, we're gonna win. Unfortunately, we're gonna win some games that we shouldn't win at the end of the year. We already out the playoffs. Like to really get that guy, it's got to be a top 10, top 5 pick. I don't even think they have a guy next year draft that's that guy. To be honest, I haven't watched a lot of them, but I don't think they have a real top tier quarterback in next year draft. So I would just skip the quarterback like just completely next year. Let Haener and Rattler just battle it out, man, and see who wins that job and let them play.
At what point do we put Spence or a Haener in to start if the season going derailed?
Week 6. I've already looked at this. Week 6. It's week 6. Let me pull the schedule up. Quick second. I think it's week 6. I think because it could get bad. If we lose week 1, it's gonna get bad. That's how bad. If we lose week 1, it's gonna get bad for us. I promise.
Oh, that Saints Twitter gonna be in shambles.
So if you lose to Carolina week 1 at home, you gotta go to Dallas after that. If you lost to Carolina, you lose to Dallas. Then you got Philly. You lose to Philly. You 0-3. We ain't even the season just started. Then you got Atlanta on the road. Then you got Kansas City. That's a tough first 5 games. And then I think week 6 is when we play the Bucks. You lose to the Bucks. I mean, it's got to find some wins in there. If you 1-5, 2-4, and then you lose to Sean Payton when he comes back to the crib, I think me personally, I'll tell my hot take right now for the year. That's the week Dennis Allen gets fired. That's my week Dennis Allen gets fired right there after the Broncos game. That's my bold prediction for the year. After the Broncos game, he's done. I think we're gonna be like 2-5 at that point. That's what I really, really think about this team. And I think we're gonna make a run after that too. But I think we're gonna be 2-5. I think we're gonna lose to Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa, and then Sean Payton. You know he's gonna try to embarrass him. You know Sean Payton gonna try to embarrass him. And if we lose, that's some tough games right there. So I don't even know what the question was anymore. But that is my bold prediction of the year that Dennis Allen's getting fired after that Broncos game.
That's definitely getting clipped and putting on Twitter.
That is my bold prediction. Dennis Allen is gone after the Broncos game. That's just a bold prediction for the year.
All right, thanks for your patience, Ethan, man. We went on a little tangent right there. But who will win the secondary safety job? Howden?
Honestly, I don't even think that guy's on the roster, to be honest. From what I've seen, you got Abram, you got Howden, you got JT Gray, who's obviously not going to play that position. So those are the 3 guys that are really battling for it. I honestly think, hey man, one of these corners might go in and steal that job, dude. Them corners been like the corners, corners been balled. I think we might just want to slide one of them to safety real quick, like because
right there.
Yeah, them.
See the deuce went right there. Put Rico Pay. I don't know if I said that should Alante Taylor play safety.
Alante could play it too, especially if you're running a 2-corner system. You got Lattimore and the Debo on Lattimore and the Kool-Aid. Man, let Alante play that thing. He plays safety anyway. But
Alante personally quoted me on Twitter and said, "Nah."
Of course,
he embracing the slot role, but he's doing better in the slot.
Well, yeah, I mean that's because that that contract about to come up soon. I don't want to play no safety. Yeah, I am a corner, buddy. I need that corner money, and that safety money, totally different. So I would say not too, especially right now. But yeah, I mean, like I don't think that guy's on a roster, to be honest. Like I think it's gonna be Howden. I think he's gonna end up winning it, but I think that's gonna be a rotation all year. They're gonna keep looking for a guy because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, man, Howden better be ready. He better have his running shoes on because they could be going at him and Abram.
Yep.
You got T says, can they revive Kamara career?
No. It's over. That offensive line, it's just not happening. It ain't even Kamara's fault. There's nothing he could do about it. Like it's just that offensive line is just not good. Like the Saints are just we playing all these offensive linemen. We're the only team in the NFL that doesn't have a left guard. We still don't know who's going to be a left guard like this year. Like that's just bad. Like that's real bad that you don't have you don't even know your starting 5 linemen is right now. It's about to be September. Games about to be played. We want one more preseason game left, and you still talking about we might have to mix it, bro. Who are the linemen? Like that's the most important part of your team. So like Kamara, it's unfortunate, man. He just don't have a good offensive line to run behind. Hopefully the new scheme opens up some holes, but I still don't think it's going to be great. I still don't think he'll rush for 1,000 yards, which he's never had in his career. I don't know why this year will be any different. So, like, I just think, to be honest, if he wants success, it won't be with the Saints. It won't be with the Saints, at least not the way this team's constructed right now.
So what do you have to say about the people who says, well, it really depends on the scheme. The 49ers, look at how they've been having success. They just draft nothing but skill positions. They don't really worry about the trenches. Their trenches, they don't really pick first-round picks, except the only first-round pick is Trent Williams.
Yeah, but they develop their guys better. The scheme does help a lot. But also the scheme helps when you got Debo and you got Ayuk and you got Purdy, who was playing really well. the scheme helps when you have really, really good players. And you got Kittle, who's basically a left tackle out there himself. So, like, we don't have that. Name our best blocking tight end. Moreau? Come on. Let's be serious for a second. Like, it's just not the same. So, obviously, yeah, the scheme does help a lot. The scheme's going to always help. I watched Sean Payton go out there with no names and things like that. And his scheme kind of helps some of those guys. But at the end of the day, his offensive line is just really, really not good. Like, it's just so you got an unproven rookie at left tackle. I think is going to be really, really good. We don't know who's going to be the left guard. McCoy's solid. Can't say nothing. Ruiz, you don't know who you getting out of Ruiz. He could be really solid one week, and then, I mean, who the hell knows? And then Trevor Penning, we saw game 2, solid. Game 1, if that guy ever shows up, that game's an automatic loss. You can't win a game with a guy playing tackle like that. So Kamara, it's just like it's Russian roulette back there for him. He's going to have some games where we're like, damn, I see why he wants to be the highest paid back in the league, because he's probably going to run for 140. Then he's going to have games where Ruiz sucks and McCoy might be off and Penning's bad, and he's going to have 13 carries for 14 yards. So I think it's going to be a Russian roulette what type of game he's going to have this season. So revive his career, I don't think that. I mean, Derek Carr's going to check it down to him a lot, so he'll still get his catches and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, dog. You can't even make bull with that. We playing with a 2 in the possible. We only got Fuaga and McCoy, and I guess Ruiz is the possible. But Ruiz gonna have to do so much help for Trevor Penning, and a tight end gonna have to do so much help for Trevor Penning. All that's gonna take away from the real creative. Well, I ain't gonna say take away from the creativity, because he's gonna have to get creative. Clint Kubiak. It just take away from what you can do versus when a man could just beat his man straight up. So that's that on that. We got Dana G, man. Shouts out to Dana. Always be on the show. So y'all think the Saints will wait on Arch Manning to draft at quarterback?
I mean, I don't think we're going to draft Arch Manning, but I think that timeline is correct. I do think that timeline is correct. Like if Derek Carr flops this year, and then like I said, I don't want to draft a quarterback this upcoming season. So yeah, it'll be a Hayner or Rattler, whoever they want to put in for that one season, and then Arch will be eligible that next year. So yeah, I think the timeline is correct. That draft class, will it be Arch Manning? Who knows? Obviously, they got ties to the Saints, ties to New Orleans. So if he's good enough, for sure. If he's a top tier guy, we need him. For sure, but he hasn't even played in college yet. But I do think that draft class is the draft class we need to be looking at a quarterback. So, which is in about 2 years from now.
Okay. Yeah, man. We got questions right now going on with the boot, man. If you got any questions, put it down in the chat. We'll get to it as soon as possible. Let's talk about the defense. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Chase. Brazil, he's going to be coming into this second year. Colin Sanders, I'm kind of reserving my expectations for Gabe, just because Colin Sanders, like I think Colin Sanders, he kind of disappointed last year. I think he get a lot of fan grace because of that fun fullback package he was coming out with. But besides that, he hasn't really lived up to the expectations I was holding him to. I kind of think Roach was doing better than him. But when it comes to the defense, man, yes, we have a good defense. Do we have an elite defense? I'm not sure. When it comes to the defense, I'm looking at, can we get these turnovers? Can we flip that field and get the turnovers for the offense? Can we prove that we could stop the run? I don't think we've been good at stopping the run since who that was? Malcolm Brown left. When Malcolm Brown left, we ain't been good at stopping the run. Mobile quarterbacks, that's still Dennis Allen still fighting them allegations. You see what Josh Dobbs just did. So, mobile quarterbacks. Then we got the tight end. Can we stop elite tight ends? What else? Just beating good teams overall. We seen what happened when we faced the Rams. We seen what happened when we faced the Lions. When it comes to this defense, man, you said that it could possibly be one of the best, but I don't know, man. They got to show me, man. I'm from the show me state this year.
Hey, I'm with it, but like I said, this defense, the biggest problem the defense gonna have is the offense. Like that problem, that's the biggest problem this defense has.
And the punter,
the punter, the offense. It's like you're punting 30 yards, so you're not even pinning guys deep. Your offense going 3 and out. Like I was listening on my video today, just the possessions we had in this last game. We had a minute and 50-second possession, a minute and 40-second possession. You just can't have that, especially if you're playing good teams. Like if say we play the Rams, they go on a 10-play, 7-minute drive, then we go out there and go 3 and out. We got to kick it right back to them. Defense already tired. They got to come back out there. So if the offense can run the ball and give the defense some rest because we do have some older guys. DeMar's a little older, Cam Jordan's a little older, Lattimore is getting up there with some injuries. He's not old, but he's still, been down in some injuries, so he's getting up there as well. Tyrann Matthews a little older, so we got to give these guys rest on defense. But I think at full strength when they're fresh, like we always gonna start. You see where we started these preseason games. When they're fresh, they're gonna be active. It's gonna be fun. It's just the offense has to keep them off the field as well. I think this defense is really, really good. I don't think we've had a pass rush like this in a long, long time. Like since Cam Jordan was like at his peak. It's been a minute because we've never really had two at the same time as well. I don't think we ever had Cam and Trey. Trey was coming into his own, but he wasn't the Trey when he left. Like we all knew it was coming, but like, it wasn't there yet for Trey Hendrickson. But I don't think we ever had a Granderson, a Chase, a Brasil. That rush from the inside also going to be a big game changer. Brasil from the inside, getting that interior pass rush is gonna help a lot. I think the linebacker with Gay, Warner. Hopefully, I wish we could have saw him this this preseason, but he's hurt. DeMario, Gay, DeMarco Jackson, Orji. I think that linebacker core is good. Only problem is that that safety position. That's the one spot that if it starts to get picked on, then I think this defense goes from elite to just we're pretty good. I think if we had a safety, guaranteed safety spot, I think we 6 corners deep. I think the corners are, I could just pick 3 names out of hat any game. I think the corners will be fine. I think the corners are that good this year. But that safety position, that's where it's a little shaky on that back end for him.
Yeah, man, I agree, man. That DB room, man, that DB room solid. That linebacker room, that linebacker room solid. I just feel like it's going to depend on the interior.
I agree with that.
On that safety position. When it comes to sacks, we were 28 in the league last year. Now that we got Chase, Brazilian second year, Grando, he coming into his own. What do you think we could rank?
Well, honestly, I think we're top. Also, this is also key. We're bad in sacks too because everybody had to lead on us, so they could just run the ball and don't need to pass. So that's also a bad thing. But I think we can be top 15 to 10 in that range this year, just because I still think Cam Jordan's lost a step. So we're still not going to just be flying off the ball every play. And I think this, like you said, the Saints, you can run the ball on the Saints, especially up that middle. So I think a lot of teams are going to take advantage of that and then use the play action off of it. So I think we're still 15 to 10 range. And for us, that's a big improvement. So I'll take that. Trust me. I'll take 10 to 15 range with that secondary in a heartbeat.
We got Zach says, you have any plans to discuss LSU and the Pelicans more in depth this year?
Yeah, I know that's hey man. I go with it. I was going with the views that was the first couple of years, man. The people love the Saints. I post a video on the Saints, 4,000, 5,000, 3,000, whatever. LSU 200, Pelicans 100. So I was doing with flow, but the more I'm in it right now, I'll definitely start covering them more and more and more. Like it's a one-man show over here. It's hard to do it all sometimes, but hey, I do plan on getting to LSU more in depth this year. Plan on getting more into the Pelicans this year. So it's been a long process, but I'll definitely cover more than I have in the past.
Yeah, Ethan says, what skill position players should Saints look to add before week 1 and who?
Who? I can't tell you who, but a running back for sure. Running back for sure. I think that's another guy that's just the juice is just not there, to be honest. I think he just kind of lost a step a little bit. So I don't think that I'll take him. Trust me, I think he's better than what we got. So a lot of people are better than what we got, but I think a running back for sure. I haven't even looked at who's out there. A receiver is a receiver that's out there, but we'll never get him because he just left. No, he just left. Michael Thomas. But obviously that ship is sailed. But I think they do need another receiver. None of these guys have stepped up and shown that they're ready to be, that wide receiver 3. So maybe a receiver, maybe a running back. If we can find offensive linemen, the thing about offensive linemen, they don't grow in trees. There's not any good ones out there. If there was, then we'll have one. So I think a running back is for certain. I think we need a running back. And I think we're going to look for a safety eventually too. But running back will be my number one answer.
Sure. Maybe we could give what's his name a call? Booger Nation.
Yeah, go get Fournette. Go get something, man.
We got T says, is Wilson a lock at wide receiver 3?
I think it's between him and Perry, to be honest. We haven't got to see a lot from him in the preseason for both of them. Perry had a good first game, had a couple dropped his last game. Haven't really got to see a lot from Wilson, from Cedric this preseason. So I think it is a battle between them two. I think nobody else on the roster really, really stands out. I think those guys are just going to be, wide receiver 4 or 5. But if you watch the 49ers offense, man, I watched the 49ers games a lot of times last year, bro. They threw the IU, they threw the Debo, they threw the Kittle. They got two receivers in the tight end. That's kind of the system they run. It's kind of old school I formation. So we really only need two receivers in a decent wide receiver too. They have Ray McLeod sometimes, the 49ers, but it's really just a two receiver sets, tight end, fullback, running back, old school I formation, offset I, stuff like that. So like the wide receiver 4 and 5, obviously we need, but it's not as important in this scheme. But I think it's between Wilson and A.T. Perry, though.
Okay. Ethan asks Mason Tipton, do you think he makes the roster?
But you just never know. Like you just never know with these because you got so many guys with seniority, over players that you just never know how it's gonna go out, gonna play out. Everybody, obviously, they always say everybody has a chance, but if I had to guess, I would say no. If I'm just guessing.
And somebody gonna take him off of us real quick. But yeah, man, we got 15 people watching. If you got any questions for the boo, go ahead on it. Put it down in the comment section. We'll get to it as soon as possible. We ain't gonna keep him here too much more longer. Right now, let's go ahead on and get to the schedule, man. I would like to hear your predictions. I'm gonna go ahead on and say a game, and you just tell me win or loss. And you could give me a quick reason why you feel like it's a win.
I got you.
And we could just run through the whole schedule real quick. First game of the season, man. The Panthers come to town right in the dome, man. All the expectations for the Saints is going to be put full on display week 1, and everybody's going to want to see what we could do to the Panthers, man. If we win, I think a lot of people will be happy if we win, but if they win, they better win in dominant fashion. That's the way I feel. So we got the week 1 against the Panthers coming to town. Who you got?
I think the Saints win that pretty easy. I think that's a 17-point game. Panthers still trying to find themselves. I don't think we'll have no problem beating the Panthers week 1. I think that's when DA and Derek are going to start feeling themselves, but they will have reality coming in the next couple of weeks. So,
yeah, man. To the optimistics, man, that's going to be, we going to go to the Super Bowl when we win it. And from there, it might go downhill. But if we lose, oh, man, they going to just be in shambles right there. But let's go ahead on and get to week 2. Week 2, man, we going to Dallas, man. Dallas is very good at home. We got Trevor Penning going to be lined up against what's his name? I think it's a guy by the name of Michael Parsons. I think he all right. He gonna have film to look at the week before when he was going to against a guy by the name of Jadeveon Clowney. What's your prediction with that matchup?
Like you said, it's Parsons versus Penning. That's a wrap. That might. I don't know what's the NFL record in sacks, but it might get broke. And even I don't want Penning. He's on a rookie on the other side, so it don't even really matter. I think Fuad's going to be really good. He's not good enough to block Parsons one-on-one. So I mean, I don't think we could block Lawrence or Parsons. So I think that game is going to be bad for the Saints. I think that's going to be on a roll. I think that's going to be a blowout, and that's when it's going to be a lot of fire DA tweets and stuff after that game. I think that's going to be a real bad loss.
Hold on, blowout?
I think
blowout with that. I think it's going to be a real defensive game because I don't think they have a offense like that just really scares me. They do got a good O-line, but I don't really think they got a running back that I'm afraid of. Dak Prescott, he's like a Derek Carr type to me, probably a little bit better because he did win 2 in a row, but they got a good head coach. And they got Cooks and they got CeeDee Lamb. So
blowout. It's gonna be a lot of strip sacks that game. It's gonna be a lot of strips. They might score 2 defensive touchdowns. I wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't be shocked.
And you know what they got? They got Darnell Bland and Diggs coming. So you got Lawrence,
blowout.
And you got Michael Parsons on both sides, and you got them 2 ball hogs back there. Oh man,
might not score to be honest.
Damn. All right, so you got us with 1 win so far. All right, week 3, Eagles come to town. Jalen Hurts, Saints killer.
See, obviously we can't stop mobile quarterbacks. That's been Dennis Allen. He just can't. That's his Achilles heel. He can't do it. But I do think for some reason we match up well with the Eagles. I don't know why, but I just feel like we match up well with the Eagles. I think we're going to lose the game, but I think this one's going to be close. This one's going to come down to a kicker. Can Groupie or whoever wins the kicker job make a kick? I think the Eagles. That's probably a 3 or 4 point game. Like I'm basing all these games with no heart. If I was to bet, and I would bet the Eagles right there, and I think the Eagles will win that one.
So you think the Cowboys got that much better of a defense than the Eagles?
Yes. Well, when they're facing the Saints, just to match up with the Saints. I mean, the Eagles got a good pass rush too, but they ain't got Parsons over there. Parsons is gonna just kill us. That's
You
that's
got
what I'm
Jalen
going up.
Carter.
It ain't Parsons. It ain't. And the interior, I'm not too worried about. Like McCoy and Marie, that's okay. That's like they can't stop them, but it's better than what Penny and Fuak is gonna do.
You have us with one win so far. All right, we going on the road. We going to Atlanta, man. We going to Atlanta, man. We see Kirk Cousins for the first time. I was one of them people who thought Derek Carr was in the same tier as Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford. I was sadly wrong. I was sadly mistaken.
Same.
We're going to face these guys, man. Who's going to come out with the W?
See, now, this game right here, I won't even predict this game, but I'll talk about it a little bit. I think this is the make or break game for the year. Like I already told you my bold prediction. If the Saints lose this game, heads will roll. Heads will roll. I think, obviously, we're going to split with Atlanta. Now, for Dennis Allen's sake, he better win the first one. Like, you're going to split, you better win this first one because we won't play him again until a little later in the year. So if you want to split, you better split this one because you might not be around for the second one. That's all I say about this game. So I think it's winnable. It's a toss-up. It's an even game. It's a toss-up. That's a toss-up for that one. But if we lose it, buddy, it might be a wrap for you.
So it's a set the tone type of game.
Absolutely, because you might be 1-2 at least in my book. We're 1-2. You can't go 1-3. Not with the next game on the schedule because that's a loss. We ain't even got to talk about that one for long. But you can go ahead.
All right, then we go on the road again. We go to Kansas City and face
no chance in hell. Prime time Monday night? No, it's over.
Man, the Cardinals beat the Cowboys last year.
All right. Derek Carr is not beating Patrick Mahomes. Like when Mahomes, I think he just lost his first game in the division. Like he gonna see Derek Carr, just remember the old days. Like, oh man, we're not losing the Derek Carr. Mahomes and Derek, come on now. Ain't no chance Derek Carr beating Mahomes. Like it's just not happening. I don't care who coaching who. It's not happening.
Right, so far you got us with one win.
One of the possible. It felt one of the possible.
All right, we got the bus coming to town, man. Bus come to us.
I think we win that one. I think we win that just because it's at home. I think we'll win that one. I think we'll win that game, and then I just think we beat the Bucs. I think we match up well with the Bucs. It's always going to be a close game, but I think we win that one.
We split with the Bucs too.
I hope not, because I think we're going to be bad near the last game of the season, so we might as well just lose that one. We're going to be out the playoff race at that point, so we're going to lose that one too. So they can sweep us if it's going to give us a better draft pick. But if we're still in it, I'll call it a split. But if we ain't in it, I'm trying to lose.
All right, then we go back home, man. We got Perkhead Peyton coming to town, man. Got to bring Bo Nix up in there, his new shiny toy.
Another mobile quarterback. Don't get it twisted. Bo Nix can run the ball. I watched it as an LSU fan. He ran all over LSU, so that's going to be tough. And I think Sean Payton is coming for blood. I think he's coming for blood. I don't know why. I just know he's coming for blood. It's going to be one of those. He's going to try to put 50 on the things. Will he do it? Absolutely not. Defense is too good for that. But I do think he's coming for blood in that game. And like I said earlier, this is my bold prediction. We lose that game on Thursday night. Dennis Allen is not the coach on Friday for the Saints right there. I think that's when Dennis Allen's my bold prediction for the year. Dennis Allen is not the coach after week 7. I think we're going to start this year off bad. We might have 2 wins, be 2-5 at that point, maybe even 1-6. And I think he's out of there. I think he's out of there after that game. It's just no way if you start off 2-5, you can keep him. If they do, then I mean, you gotta hold everybody accountable at that point. From Mickey Loomis, Miss Benson, they all bad if they keep him after that. But I think we lose that game. That's when Dennis Allen gets the boot.
This game is the hardest game to predict to me, bro, because it's Sean Payton, bro. And you know what I think that I like, man, they ain't got no skill positions, man. We just gonna suffocate them. They ain't got no quarterback. They quarterback a rookie. Man, they got a pretty good defense, but they lost Simmons, man. I think we're gonna beat these dudes, bro. It's just gonna be something in Cam Jordan that just gonna want to beat Sean Payton. You know, just the veteran guys that we have, like they just gonna want to beat Sean Payton. But you know what game I think of when I think about this game? We had Jameis Winston going out there with Marquez Callaway, Hardy, and no Mike Thomas, and we beat the Green Bay Packers like what 38-3. Nobody seen that coming. Payton, bro. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And then it's Sean Payton against Dennis Allen. So I don't know, man. That's a hard game to predict to me. But we got another game, man. We got another game that's hard to predict to me because I feel like the offense ain't really got no skill positions, but they got a good quarterback and they got a good head coach. But we going to the Chargers.
See, I got us winning that game. I think that's a fairly easy win too. Chargers, they don't even bring people to their home game, so that's probably gonna be like a home game for the Saints in LA. I think that's the easy win. I think we're gonna have a new head coach in town. You know, it's gonna be a new head. I don't know who they're gonna get an interim job to, but it's gonna be a new head coach in my book.
Rizzy
Maybe
up Clint.
I think Rizzy probably get it. You go get the interim job, get the guys hype, win
Now
that first
hold
game.
on. Now you said that the Dallas match up with us because of Lawrence and
And Parsons.
and Parsons, but they have Mack and they got Bosa.
That don't scare me. Bosa gonna be hurt by then. No offense to Bosa. He ain't gonna be out there. Like I ain't worried about him. Khalil Mack's still good though, but if you look at Khalil Mack's stats from over the last couple of years, he's really not good until a couple games where he's gonna have like 4 sacks and 4. It might be the Saints game, unfortunately though. So it might be he kind of on that Cam Jordan where like I'm just here. And then one game he remind y'all like, hey, I'm still Khalil Mack. And hey, I hope it's not the Saints game, but I don't think their offense is gonna be ready. They just don't have enough weapons. They lost Eckler, obviously. They got Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. That don't really scare me in the backfield. Receivers don't scare me at all. Losing Keenan Allen, I just don't see it. They don't have enough on offense to compete with that Saints defense. So I think that's an easy win.
Okay. We thought the same thing about the Vikings. But let's see. They got you got us with 3 wins so far. Next we go all the way to the Panthers.
I think that's always a tough game. Always a tough game at Carolina. It's just always tough. But I do think we sweep the Panthers. I have no expectations for the Panthers this year. And that's why I do think the Saints get hot. I think after that Denver game, the schedule does get a lot easier for the Saints. But it's those first 7 where it's a little dicey. It's really the first 6 because I don't think the Broncos can play with us. It's just all those other factors that factor into that game. But I think we beat the Panthers as well and get a little win streak rolling, with the new head coach.
So that's 4 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next we got the Falcons coming to town.
Since I gave us the split, I don't know if we counted. Did we count one? I think we did. We count the first one as a win?
Well, you didn't really say nothing.
Yeah, let's go through it. Carolina with 1. Let's see if we gave the Falcons 1, that'll be 2. I think we'll beat the Bucks. That's 3. No, so I didn't count the Falcons. So I'll give us the second one. So that's a split with the Falcons. I think that's a win. I think that's a win right there.
Okay, so 5 wins.
5-5 right there. Just a 500 team, which we're gonna kind of stick at, in my opinion.
Damn Dennis Allen, epitome of mediocre. All right, we got Jameis Winston coming to town, man. He bringing this boy Myles Garrett.
That's a big fat L right there. Actually, I'm lying. This is the game where everybody like, oh, Myles Garrett versus Penny. Browns gonna probably be like 7-1 or something, 7-2 or something, and we're gonna beat the Browns. And everybody gonna have high hopes. We going into a bye week. I think we win that game, though. I do think we sneak that one. It's always the game we win. Like, how we win that? I think that's going to be that Browns game.
Okay, we got 6 wins. Okay, now we got the Rams coming to town, man. We're going to have to get our revenge from last year, man. We got Puka Nacua, and we got his brother Nacua. Well, not Puka Nacua. We got Puka Nacua brother trying to get some of that magic from him from what he did to us last year. And we got Cooper Kupp coming to town, man. What you got?
And this is the game where it always happens for the Saints. That's why I named it the boot trash. We're going to be tied for first in the division. We're going to play this. It's a game at 3:05 too. So it's going to be the Falcons then lost their game early. The Bucks then lost their game early. The Panthers then lost their game early. We got a chance to take a 1-game lead in the division coming off a bye week. And no, we're going to blow it and we're going to lose it. That's the epitome of the Saints right now. Like, we've had so many times to take over the division these last couple seasons, and we just lose with everybody else. I think that game off the bye week, the same thing gonna happen, and we right back to 500, right back in the thick of the division with everybody else.
Quarterback head coach combo, man. I keep telling people. All right, now we got another quarterback head coach combo. We got Brian Daboll. He's not that bad of a head coach.
That's a win there. Daniel Jones is awful. I'm sorry. Yeah, that dude stinks. I can't even make a lie up to give the Giants that win. If he's not starting by then, maybe, I don't know, but he is awful.
He do got a good defensive line though.
Mm-hmm. And he can run the ball though. Don't sleep on. He can run the ball, Daniel Jones. So that might cause him some problems. But I just don't see them. I don't see them being good.
That's 7 wins.
Yeah, I know, but we ain't winning the next one.
We ain't beating a rookie coming to town?
Because Jaden Daniels gonna run for 150 yards, and we gonna lose. I think it's just gonna go 500. We gonna lose. We can go through it. So I think we lose to Jaden Daniels. That's also a toss up in my opinion. I think obviously we're better. But them running quarterbacks always give Dennis Allen problem. And I just remember I remember RG3 a long time ago came play the Saints and just killed it. I think it's gonna be a game, that type of game from a rookie quarterback, and just just absolutely destroy us for no reason. Like a team we should beat, like it always happens. A team we should beat. I think we'll lose that. I think we'll lose that game.
Hmm. Okay, we got the game that everybody swear to God was the reason that we lost the playoffs. I mean, was the reason that we didn't go to the playoffs. Mind you, right after this game, we went out there and put Derek Carr in the game, knowing that he was hurt, and he was just throwing the Alvin Kamara behind the line of scrimmage the whole game, and we lost to the Bucks. Nobody talk about that though, but I digress. We got the Packers, man. We going back to Lambeau, man. Revenge.
Another loss on the schedule right there. That's another loss. That's another loss. Another primetime game. We ain't finna show up for that, man. That's another loss. It's gonna be cold up there. We ain't here for all that. That's a loss. That's a loss right there. Like, I think Jordan Love, another mobile quarterback, is gonna give us issues. Just don't think we can beat the Packers in Lambeau. Not this year. Not this year.
Mind you, going into that game, they had so many injuries, and we just thought it was gonna be a cakewalk.
So we had 7 and about 8 right now, or something like that. Yeah, I think we had 7 and 8 with 2 games left.
So that's 7 and 7, right? No, yeah, that's 7 and 8. You're right.
Yeah, it got extra game now. It's crazy. I'm still getting used to it too.
All right, so we got Dennis Allen and Derek Carr boys coming into town, man. Yeah, they got a new head coach.
We beat, I think, Minshew Mania. He's been named the starter. That's going to run out by week 17. It ain't going to be Minshew. Aiden McConnell going to be in there about week 17. They running back, Zamir White. I ain't really worried about them. I'm not worried about the rest. That's a win right there. I think we'll be 8-8 right there. I think that's a pretty easy win against the Raiders, to be honest. They're not. I think Crosby's going to kill us on the defensive line, but other than that, I think we can maintain that enough that we'll beat the Raiders.
Okay. Last game of the season, man. We're going up there to Tampa Bay.
Now, that's the one I said. This is also the one for me. Hey, if we got a chance to somehow win the division at 9-8, go win it. If we don't, just lose the game, man. So that one's gonna be. That's another one that it just is what it is. If we can win it, I think. All right, I'll go this way. If it's a game, I think we need to win for like the playoffs or something like that. I think we can win it. But if we out of it, I think we'll lose. So it's for me, it's either 8-9 or 9-8. So like it's either or for me, which I think a lot of people got the Saints being 8 or 9 or 9-8. So I don't think I'm saying anything special right there, but I think that last game, it just depends on who's in playoff contention and who's not.
Yeah, man. I always said our ceiling gonna be 9, our floor gonna be 7, and I got them smack dab in the middle right there at 8, man. Just because I just feel like this schedule is real top heavy, but then towards that back end, you get some favorable matchups. And I just feel like we just the epitome of mediocrity, and we're just gonna always fall in that type of record of being mediocre. And you know, they say we got the second easiest schedule after Atlanta, and we face a lot of.
I don't see it. Well, at the back end, there's some bad teams back there, but
that's
start off the season.
The Giants, the Raiders, you got the Panthers twice. You got some bad teams you're gonna be facing, man.
Like honestly, if the Saints after 6 weeks are 3-3, I think Dennis Allen did a really good job, and that's I promise. I'm not if we're at 3-3 at week 6 after playing Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa, and Carolina, I won't say a bad word about that, man. I promise that'll be perfect for him. Like, because I think if you can, I'll say how I think before I wrap this up and get out. I think how they could have a successful year, you gotta try to go 500 those first 8 games. If you can get 500 there, the schedule gets really, really easy. And now you can try to win. I think Dennis Allen goal should be win 2 out of 3 after that. If you go 500 for those first 8, then try to win 2 out of 3. Try to win 2 out of 3. Maybe go 1-1, then go 2-1. But you can't. We've always put together 3 losses in a row. 3 losses in a row. 2. You can't have that NFL. You're killing yourself. So
I don't think Dennis Allen ever had three wins in a row. If he never had 3 wins, I know for sure he never had 4 wins in a row.
Oh yeah,
that's
what got 4 wins.
Be a playoff team. Like how we could be a playoff team, but he never even had 4 regular season wins in a row. But you want to know when 4 games against playoff teams in a row?
Yeah,
3 playoff teams.
3 last year. I'm looking at it right now. 3 last year, but he also added 3 losses in a row, 2 losses in a row, 2 losses in a row, 2 losses in a row. That's 4 different occasions. And then a year before, that was actually 2020. That was 2022. I was looking at. Now last year, he had
same thing. We never had more than 3 in a row.
2 wins, 2 losses, a win, 2 losses, 2 wins, 3 losses, 2 wins, a loss, 2 wins. Yeah, so never more than 3. We never even got to 3 last year, just 2. So yeah, I mean, So yeah, that's why when I do this schedule prediction, you're like, oh, you got us losing to Washington and stuff like that. Well, yes, because if I don't, then we'll have 12 wins, and I know we're not having 12 wins. So somebody we got to lose to somebody. So if some of them bad teams gonna beat us, that probably shouldn't beat us.
And you know it's funny because I go back and forth with people a lot. They like, man, why y'all talking about the Saints like we won 4 games last year? We won 9 games. But I will argue a lot of people say we won 9 games and that 9 could have easily been 12, but I will argue we could have won maybe 7 or 6, had we played those starting quarterbacks. Had we played starting quarterbacks, and if that schedule wasn't that just easy from the jump, like even before those quarterbacks got injured, we thought before the season even started, we said, God damn, it's a favorable schedule. Like we couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, man, I would argue we could have lost a lot of them games, that we did win. Had we been playing like the starting quarterback and just, guys that was just healthy. Like we were playing literally Tyson Bagent, Tommy DeVito.
Like, look who we beat last year. We beat Tennessee week 1. Like, no, they couldn't even find a quarterback last year. Then we beat Carolina, rookie quarterback in the second career game. You beat New England. That was just Mac Jones was absolutely terrible that game. We beat Indianapolis. I don't remember if Minshew was playing already right there or not.
Minshew was playing against us because we didn't play Anthony Richardson, but they did do good on offense. But what happened was in that game, one of the cornerbacks had went down, and we was playing like against a special team guy.
I remember Tony Brown. I do remember that. It was Tony Brown. Was just getting
old.
Yeah, we just killed him. I do remember that.
We got the best luck, and we still missed the play.
And then we beat Badgett. So that's another bad. Then we beat what's his name? Bryce Young again. Then we beat DeVito. Like that's the quarterbacks we beat. Like we ain't beat no good. Like,
if we'd have played the Panthers with Andy Dalton, we'd have lost. I don't care what nobody say.
So. And then we won week 17 and 18 for no reason because that's what the Saints do. So yeah, like we blew out the Falcons at the end of the year in a pointless game. So I mean, yeah, I just don't see it. I think 9 wins or 8 wins, and that's just is what it is. Maybe they could change my mind, but at this current moment today, 8 or 9 wins. That's what I got for them.
And one more question before I let you get up out of here, man. Even if we do get 9 wins, like let's just say a Chase Young get double-digit sacks. Let's just say he get 10 sacks. Okay, now he's going to be in the market. Now we're going to have to pay him. He's going to have a demand on him. Everybody going to see he's pretty healthy. We're going to have to pay this guy. Then let's just say Clint Kubiak, he get this offense playing well. We win 9 games, but for the most part, he has the offense playing well. What if he get head coaching opportunities from that? Just like how the Bucs offensive coordinator had got. Now he's with the Panthers, I believe. So what if all this transpire and then we're gonna run it back with Dennis Allen and Derek Carr again and be looking for another offensive coordinator? Be looking.
If they run this back, they cannot. They just cannot run this back. That's all I got on that. They cannot run this back. Or you're gonna guess what? We're gonna be doing the same thing next year. I'll be right back on your show and I'm gonna like 8 wins. Now it's gonna be the same thing. Like it's gonna be the exact same thing. Nothing's gonna change. So if they go 8 wins or 9 wins this year, appreciate you, Dennis Allen, but it's time to go. It's time to get up out of there. And guess what? The first person I'm calling as we fight, get a head coach. I'm calling Dennis Allen. Hey, you want to be the defensive coordinator? Hey, I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, he's a great defensive coordinator, my boy. He'll never do it because you can't take that, the step down in the organization and return. But shit, he'll be the first person I call to be the DC. So they definitely. I think this is it for him. To be honest, I think personally, if I had to put money on it, I think this is it for Derek Carr and Dennis Allen. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Like I said, hopefully go to the playoff. We do great, but I don't see it happening. Not yet, at least.
All right, man. This was fun. The Boo definitely got to have you back, man. Whenever you want to come back on the show, man, you definitely a guest, man. Because this was very fun, bro. We had a lot of people watching. Had a lot of people in the comment section showing you love and stuff, bro. Got this guy right here. He says, "Hey, family, don't forget to like, share, hit that notification bell, subscribe, no cap, no filter, to Boot Tragedy podcast, and join the Boot Tragedy Discord, man." So you got some here, bro. Go ahead on and tell everybody where they can find you at before I let you go.
You already know, man. Hey, if you don't know already, it's the Boot Tragedies. All Instagram. I don't really use it yet, but I'm gonna be on that. Twitter, obviously, YouTube. You go to my YouTube, man. All them links, like in the descriptions on my profile, all that. So just, hey, man, hop in there, man. Thanks, family, LSU pals. all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you for having me. It's the first one, so you'll always have it in the books. You'll always have it in the books over everybody. It was the first one, like I said, had opportunities, but you was the first one to come through with it. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. We definitely got to do this again, man. Let's do it again after week 1, man. I definitely want to get your pick your brain and see dissect that Panthers game, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
I want.
Yeah, man. That was the Boot Tragedies, man. This was his first collaboration with somebody in the Saints podcast hemisphere on this YouTube, bro. So yeah, man. I'm looking for many more collaborations, man. So if y'all know any Saints podcasters that's doing their thing and they got a nice little show, if you would like to see me be a guest on there, man, just comment in the section like, man, you gotta collab with No Cap No Filter Saints, man. Get the name out there, man. Push the podcast. If you like this show, just go ahead on and like it, subscribe, share it, and we're gonna keep it pumping, man. We're gonna keep it pumping this season, bro. We're gonna try to pump this content for you guys, and it's gonna try to be a fun season, man. We're gonna get to it, bro. Next, we got Tennessee coming into town. We're gonna have to see Will Levis in this preseason, man. It should be fun, bro. But y'all be safe out there, and who that?